Okay, so we're going to be doing exponential decay now. So again, we have the same function, except of 1 plus r to the power of t. We're going to have 1 minus r to the power of t. So for example,
Not Doug.
we have Doug.
Doug Ford.
Yeah, Doug Ford takes pictures underwater while scuba diving. He knows that the light intensity reduces by 20% for each meter below the surface of water. His camera requires a minimum of 60% of light above the water surface in order to take pictures underwater without needing an extra light source. He would like to dive 23 meters below the surface to take some pictures of a rorqual. His camera uses the function in is equal to I0 times 0.98 to the power of n for determining the light intensity, where I0 is the initial amount of light at the surface, and n is the depth below the surface in meters. To determine whether Doug's dive to 23 meters requires an additional light source. Okay. So we have our rate, which is 1.098, which we don't need. What is my I0? So what is the minimum amount of light he needs above the water? It's in a percentage here.
2.
Pardon?
60%. Yeah. Shoot, prank you guys.
So what's 60% as a decimal?
0.6.
Okay. And n says how many meters below the surface does it need to go? 23.
I wonder if Doug Ford can actually do that.
Probably not.
This man can barely shovel. I know, with a small ass toy shovel.
This guy was driving on the highway, FaceTiming.
What? Yeah, he was FaceTiming the news.
You see some guys
And then he's like, yeah, you're getting arrested. And we're like, okay.
So now what you're going to do is you're going to take 0.98 to the power of 23 and multiply that by 0.6.
Where does the 2% come in?
Oh, that's already here, the 0.98, because 1 minus 0.02, that gives me 0.98.
You guys get 0.37. I don't know. Oh my god.
What did you got?
Yeah, 0.377. Can I go get my wallet from my locker?
Sure.
Ow.
So what did everyone else get online? Nicole got the answer and she got it right.
I did not get anything yet. I'm still taking.
Sorry, I have to use it.
Huh?
I heard you say slay.
Slay.
Oh my god.
Is that right? Is that right?
What did you get?
0.37.
Yep. Okay, everyone online, what did you get as your answer? You guys didn't hear Nicole or Benny. So 0.98 to the power of 23 times 0.6.
I did it around for your fun.
Why did you do the 1 minus 0.02?
Because that's how I wanted to show you how they got 0.98 in the bracket.
What is the 0.98?
So that's the decay, right? Because it loses 2% of light each time. So what's 2% as a decimal?
0.02.
So what's 1 minus 0.02? 0.98. So it gives me 0.377. Okay? So the light intensity at 23 meters below the surface of water is 0.377. See how many more questions we got here. Oh, look, another one. So now we'll move on to the next one. So a hot cup of coffee from Tim's cools according to the equation temperature over time is equal to 68 times 1/2 to the power of T over 22 plus 18. T of T is the temperature in degrees Celsius and T is the time in minutes. So let's do question A. So if we look at the equation, which part of the equation indicates that the function models exponential decay? What do you notice about the bracket? Is it more than 1 or less than 1? Less than 1. Okay. The bracket is less than 1. Oops. So in this case, it is 0.5. So what was the initial temperature of the coffee?
Coffee.
Yeah, what was the initial temperature of the coffee? Benny?
68 degrees
Degrees what?
Celsius.
Celsius. Okay.
That's hot.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. That's dangerous.
That's like illegal.
That would bring the crap out of you.
That's a lawsuit. if
Well,
someone sold that.
Actually, no, McDonald's actually had that problem.
I
'cause they
saw that.
forgot,
Someone right there telling.
They forgot to write the caution it's hot on their thing, or they didn't have it on their cups. So this old lady sued. So determine the temperature for the coffee after 40 minutes to the nearest degree. So what am I going to sub in for T? What number?
T?
It says in the question. Determine the temperature of the coffee after 40 minutes. Yes, Benny? We're going to sub in 40 for T.
40?
Yep, because it's 40 minutes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Whoops.
I was looking at the equation. You said it was in the equation.
Oh, I said it's in the question. My bad, it's in the question. So T at 40 is equal to 68
No, she's in the part.
times 1 over 2
I don't know.
to the power of 40 over 22 plus 18. So what you guys are going to do first is you're going to do 1 over 2 or 0.5 to the power of 40 over 22.
So you have to do it in
No, there's no inverse.
You know what?
So 1.5 to the power of 1.9.
Yep. Times 68, and then you add the 18 at the end. So what's the temperature of the coffee after 40 minutes? People online, if you want to type in your answer, feel free to do so. Again, do your exponent first, and then multiply by 68, and then add the 18 after.
We're using the same. Mama, you're such a rough budget and saying
Did Yana get the answer?
I don't even know what this is.
Yana, what's the answer?
Yeah, what's the answer?
What'd she say?
She said, Nicole, leave me alone.
Oh, no, I'm asking her. You're not asking her.
He's asking you.
I think it's 77.4. Is it?
Okay, people online, what did you get?
You know, I show my cousin who's in grade 9 our math equations, and she literally just brain cells reading them. Did you get 36.22?
37.28. You were close, though. That's fine. I would just take half a mark off.
It was just a prank.
Oh, it's a prank?
Bro,
Oh,
every
okay.
like quiz and test that I've done recently, I've only got one question wrong.
37 degrees Celsius. So basically, after 40 minutes, that's how much your coffee cools down to.
That looks like first.
Safer. Huh? Have you guys ever burned yourself with coffee by accident?
Yes.
It hurts,
You
right?
know, I've accidentally put my hand on the stove.
I burned myself the other day with the toaster oven. My hand went up by accident and it burned my finger.
When I cook yesterday, like a piece of carrot fell to the stove and it was hot. Like I tried to grab a carrot anyway.
No, why'd you do that?
I wanted the carrot.
I sent her a video of a chinchilla and she called me a piece of shit.
That's rude.
She got him a lot.
Yeah, the French vanilla is like hot lava. Oh, who was that?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, that was the air, right? Ventilation.
It's Yana's spirit.
Be honest.
It's Yana's spirit.
Okay, last question. Who's talking?
My cousin.
Put it down. You need to speak. They can hear it over here too. So example 3, so a new car. Okay, this is how much you guys lose value on when you buy a car, any car now. So a new car costs $24,000. It loses 18% of its value each year after its purchase. This is called depreciation. So determine an equation that models the value of the car, VFT, after the number of years. Then determine the value of the car after 30 months. So again, we're going to use our formula. So it was P of N is equal to P0. And because of depreciation, it's 1 minus R to the power of T. Yeah, I'm going to change it after. I'm just writing down the general formula. So what is the initial price of the car? What is so in this case, because you have to use VFT, we're going to change the P into a V and the N to a T. So what's the initial price of the car, guys? 24,000. And for my rate, how much does it decrease by every year?
18%.
What's that as a decimal?
0.18.
Okay, so 18%, and that turns to 0.18. Now for my time, does it have to be in months or years? Years. So we have 30 months, okay? How am I going to turn 30 months into years?
Like every year is like 12 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
So what do I have to do with 30
30
and 12?
30 divided by 12.
Okay, Nicole, you got that answer? 30 divided by 12?
2.5.
2.5. So because we need years. So now I can determine what my car is going to be worth at that time. So V of T is equal to 24,000 minus 1 times 1 minus 0.18 to the power of 2.5. So now can someone tell me what 1 minus 0.18 gives me? 0.82.
Antoine, does that look right?
Okay,
Is it actually next time?
so now what you're gonna do,
Wait, what am I
so Lucas, the 12 is from the amount of years, because we need it in years. So in order to go from months to years, I need to take my 30 and divide that by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna do 0.82 to the power of 2.5, and then multiply by 24,000. And then you guys are gonna type out in the chat what the car is worth after 2.5 years. Remember, with money, it has to be 2 decimal places.
40,613.22.
Mm-mm.
Is that right?
Nope.
Okay.
14612.21.
So 1461. Yep.
Wait, what?
We need years.
Sorry, I think I did it wrong. I think you're right at the beginning, Benny. Sorry,
Oh, so
it was my mistake.
It should
You
be
got
a
14613.22, right?
Okay, that's what I got.
So as you can see, guys, how much money did you lose in 2.5 years buying a $24,000 car? You lost almost $10,000. That's why cars sometimes suck. But nowadays, because of this market and inflation and car manufacturers not being able to produce cars, I can probably sell my car for close to what I bought it for, even more. Right now, at this
What's
point
your
in time.
favorite car brand?
My math
I don't
selling
care.
show like 10,000 more than you wanted.
Yeah, because there's no cars to be sold. If you go to car dealerships now, there's nothing in their parking lots. There's a shortage. Supply and demand. There's no demand for cars right now. Well, there is a demand, but there's no supply to, meet that demand.